This is self-guided tour number 2 on the USS Yorktown. It's the engine and fire room tour. It begins in Hangar Bay 2 on the port side. We walk down a hatch, make 2 left-hand turns. From the second deck, we're going to go down to the third deck and feed into one of the museum areas on the Hornet. There's a hole in the wall here that feeds to a passageway that isn't on the Hornet. Behind that wall is where the Yorktown's log room is. That's forward along this passageway, and aft feeds back to the mess deck. The passageway on our left here goes past the restoration offices. So we're going to go forward here up to an area that's familiar to us from the Hornet. That gray door is where our gee dunk is. Apparently on the Yorktown they didn't have the equipment for their gee dunk. Here's the hatch that goes down to the fire room. Notice on all the ladders on the Yorktown there are no chains. They're made of secure stainless steel. The fire room is a little bit different than the Hornet. Only the port side burners are open for display. Those starboard ones there are fenced off. You can go down below this platform. I chose not to. But in the stack that we're going to look at here in a minute, it's lit so that you can see inside and see the economizers. There's a yellow placard here on the periscope because people can purchase for $6 headphones and do a self-guided tour like we do on the Hornet. Here in this burner they have a plexiglass window to look inside, and it's lit in there. If we keep going further port, this ramp leads past the burner, feeds through a bulkhead, hole in the bulkhead, and comes out in the engine room at the panel for engine number 4. If we look down at the deck, we see the arrow points aft, and it's going to feed us past the electrical panel that is plexiglassed off. The visitors walk past the electrical panel, past the aft end of the steam generator, steam electric generator, to the number 1 engine's reduction gear. The mirror and arrow are missing on the Yorktown. The mirror is down low below these wires, but the propeller shaft was down there, painted red and white. The control area of engine number 1 is very similar to the Hornet's. However, many of the components are in a different location. There was a fan blowing air around down here. It is quite warm below decks. In fact, quite warm throughout this entire ship. The ladder that leads out, the same one that leads down on the Hornet, doesn't make any turns. It goes straight up. That wall that we see up there is the wall where our restoration offices are. We're going to turn right here and go back in the same direction that we came.
To the port side of the ship.
And we go back the same ladders that we entered. So it isn't one way here, it's 2-way.